So, welcome everyone to AEAPD Online Live. And today we have Andrea Anderson with us today to talk about how you can use atomic learning in your mobile initiatives in your district. So, welcome, Andrea.
Thank you, Rob.
Just to start us off a little bit today, just give us a quick kind of overview of what is atomic learning and how is it available for schools?
Sure. Well, Atomic Learning is a web-based professional development and training resource that has been provided to all of the schools in the state of Iowa through each of the local AEAs.
Okay. So, what are some of the tools that are contained in atomic learning?
You're going to find basically three different types of informational pieces available. First of all, you're going to find, and I'll just pop down all categories here, you're going to find the how-to tutorials, which are going to be about 250 different applications and devices with about 60,000 tutorials embedded within those, so very short videos of training. You're also going to find our second type, which is professional development workshops. These are going to be video series based on concepts of technology and education. And then the third would be classroom projects. And this is going to be ready-to-go classroom activities that would be done in conjunction with lessons that teachers have already put together.
So, the focus of this webinar is really on schools that maybe have started a one-to-one type initiative or are getting ready to, let's say next fall, start off with a one-to-one initiative with their students. What are some ways that those districts could use atomic learning to help gear themselves up for their initiative?
Sure. Well, first of all, you want to be sure that your teachers are comfortable with the devices that are being provided. So if it is an Apple device and you're looking for iOS training, you're going to find even iOS 7 training. If it is an iPad, you'll find training on using the iPad itself and different applications within the iPad. But if you're going with laptops and you're providing maybe the Office suite, you're going to find training on all the way through Office 2013 and Office 365. And you're also going to have training on the individual applications that Office would be including. So all of that training would be available for you here. It would be available for all of your teachers, your students. You could even get shared parent logins set up and be able to have your parents working through some concepts as well.
So really, you have not just information about software, but you also have training clips around the devices themselves as well.
Correct. But if your teachers are looking for ideas on how to use those devices within the classroom, you may want to check out in our featured topics the mobile learning section. And that's going to provide you with details on utilizing mobile devices in the classroom, whether it's training, as you can see here, pages for iOS 7, but there are also going to be in our workshop series that we touched on briefly before, like a quick look at apps or holiday devices is another workshop that was just launched within the last few weeks. So again, you're going to be receiving the training not only on the specific device, but you can also be going through our materials to have ideas on utilizing those devices effectively in the classroom.
Okay. So we've been talking about kind of some of the training things for teachers. So I noticed up there that in the tabs across the top, there's a section called My Training. How might a district use that to get training so that they know all of their staff have taken a training, or they can make sure everybody gets specific trainings that they might need in their district?
Typically within a district or even a building, there will be one individual that is provided with administrative roles for the Atomic Learning site. It may be a professional development coordinator or a technology director, but they have the ability to go into the Atomic Learning training and actually assign material that a teacher or group of teachers may need. So if you are assigned training, You will receive email notification from Atomic Learning, but then you would find that training listed here under assigned training, and you would be able to see any completed pieces that you've already done. When you do complete that assignment, we provide you with a certificate of completion that's going to show you the hours of time or the minutes of time that were spent on that particular activity. Also within the My Training, you may have recommended training. So your administrator may decide we don't necessarily need to assign it, but it is something that our staff needs to know. So they may recommend the training to make sure that you know about the changes that are coming. Um, Atomic Learning also has assessments available based on the ISTE-NET standards for both teachers and students. So again, if those are assigned, it will be located here in the assessments. And the e-portfolio that is in every individual login is basically like a personal Dropbox. And this is a place where you can upload documents to that you want to be able to access anywhere you have internet access.
So teachers can kind of keep track of what they've done, different things, their certificates, those types of things, and kind of that e-portfolio place then as well, correct?
That is correct. Yes, those certificates can be uploaded into that e-portfolio, but keep in mind anything that is uploaded into the e-portfolio can be viewed by the administrator of the site, either on campus or in the district.
Okay. So, like, if a district knew that there's some recommended trainings, or they wanted to kind of almost bookmark them in a way, so that people, these are frequently asked questions. So, here's the trainings that go with those. They could actually use that recommended training tab as a place to put those trainings in. Then.
Exactly, exactly. Now, teachers or students with individual logins can also bookmark their own videos as well and put that into their favorites file. So you'll find ways to favorite videos as you go through different series to be able to find those on your own and have them available. And you are the only one that can see what you have in your favorites file.
Okay. So, how would a school or a building go about creating those individual logins for their teachers or for their students? I'm assuming it's the same type of process.
It is exactly the same process. Typically, we would ask that you first go through your building coordinator. Again, whether that's a curriculum director, technology director, or a technology integrationist. And if you're not sure who that is, you are more than welcome to contact your local AEA office, and they will help you in either figuring out who you need to talk to within your school or getting those logins set up for you directly. We typically will use an email address for a login and a default password if we aren't given one. But for students, typically they may not have an email address, so we'll use an email format for their logins to keep them unique in our system.
Okay. So we've been talking about kind of teacher support, really kind of their professional development. What might be some tools in here that teachers can use with their students in the classes?
Well, of course, the devices that may be new to teachers may not be new for students. It seems that students these days are wired to being able to pick up a device and really figure it out very quickly if it's not something they're already familiar with. So any of the application training or the device training that we have can also be used in the classroom to help those students that may need that extra boost to catch up to where other students may be. In addition, if you go into the classroom projects, these are activities, as we looked at before, these are activities that are going to be utilizing technology. So it's a great way to put a concept into practice and have students hands-on with that particular device and actually creating an outcome for their learning.
So can you show us one of those projects and how a teacher might use that in their classroom?
Sure. So we'll take a look here. There's hundreds of different projects that are in here. We'll take a look at this is PowerPoint 2003, but again it can be really any presentation type application. But this one is called Meet My Mammal, and this particular activity is one that's one of my favorites because of the diversity that it allows for. This is This has been designed as a science project for grades 6 through 8. Basically, what it has done is students may have been doing a research project and they're now putting together a PowerPoint presentation to be given about in this case, about their mammal. So what we do in a project is we provide you with an example movie so that you get an idea of what the final project should look like. You also are given information on creating that presentation. So again, if you have those students that may need that extra boost to get them started or to catch them up, those pieces are available. We also provide downloadable resources. And these resources, as you see on the bottom of the screen, are in a zipped file. So it takes a few seconds to come up. So when this folder comes up, you'll notice that a lot of times with our projects that it comes up in two folders, in both a Mac version as well as a PC. So you do want to be sure that you open the version that you need for whatever platform you're using. This particular project they all have certificates of completion. This one is providing example slides for you in different PowerPoint versions. There are professional development workbooks to help you work through the process if you need it. And then in all of our projects, you are provided with a project guide. And this project guide is your formal lesson plan, and it does provide you with all of the information you need to be able to complete this particular activity. At the end of all of these, I'm going to flip through this fairly quickly here, we also provide you with an assessment rubric. These documents do come in a document as well as a PDF version, so if there are changes that you would like to make to the rubric, you are more than welcome to do so. One of the reasons why I like this project so much is that even though it was originally designed as a science project, this particular activity could be a meet by anything. This could be in an English classroom if you're working with different pieces of literature and you want to do more research on the author or on a character. So again, it really is very flexible and modifiable to pretty much any topic that you can think of.
Well, I'm also thinking with this Meet My Mammal, it's not only just a science, but there's also some literacy types of things that you can integrate with that as well. So it really can be cross-curricular in the activity projects that you have as well.
Absolutely.
So that's some of the projects. So how might I use this to support parents in our one-to-one initiative in our district?
Well, sure. No, that's a great question. We've had within our local district here, we did a one-to-one iPad initiative. And one thing that the technology integrationists were hearing from parents was that, last year my kids brought home books and I could open these books and help them with their homework and not have a lot of stress about it. And now they're bringing home these devices that I don't even know how to turn on. So this is really becoming a huge component in community initiatives to help catch up parents into what their students have going on. So as we looked at before with the iPad training, just as an example, when we click on the iPad training, we can get into this iOS 7 training, which is the most recent iOS 4 Apple products. And you can see that it breaks it down very simply into getting started, basic settings and functions. If we expand this, we can see all of the different videos in here. So it's really going to help parents become more aware of the devices that their children have available during their school day.
And it looks like most of those video clips are under 3 minutes, so fairly short, to the point types of clips for parents.
Absolutely. They're designed to answer a very specific question in a very short amount of time.
So, we've been talking about not only laptops, but mobile devices are what schools have been going to. How does atomic learning work for mobile devices? How does it work on those? Does it work the same?
It does work the same. We do have an iPad app available, and again, it is only available on the iPad. It is a free download through iTunes if that is the device of choice. However, if you are utilizing us on any other type of device, really in any browser, you would be able to get the same functionality as being on a computer. And just kind of as a little sneak peek for 2014, the Atomic Learning site is going responsive. And so what that means is that really on any size screen, on any device, any browser, the site is going to respond to that and be functional on any size screen that you are utilizing.
Oh, that'll be really nice for schools as they're working with students to, because there's nothing like trying to do something on a device and then not having the screen or whatever you're using work on it.
Sure, and for schools that are doing BYODs and really not sure what's going to be in their classroom on a day-to-day basis, it makes it much easier.
So, how do teachers access this? So, where might they get started?
Well, if you are not sure what your login may be, again, contacting those building contacts or your local AEA office would definitely be the place to start, and they will get you going on getting started with all of the atomic learning resources.
And if people have more questions or need more information, I'm guessing that that's the same place they can go as well if they've got questions around those.
You got it.
Well, that's all of my questions today, Andrea. Is there any other things that you want to mention for districts as they think about how this can support their one-to-one initiative?
Well, I just want to mention, because of the depth of information that is available on the Atomic Learning website, it can be very overwhelming. And so I would highly recommend starting small, especially if the individual listening to this right now is a tech integrationist. Help your teachers start small and provide them with resources that are pain points to them right now and that they can be utilizing in the classroom today, and not providing them with logins and sending them out into the great wide world and saying good luck. So definitely start small, and it will become much more understandable as far as what we have available.
So maybe really kind of highlighting that my training spot of here's where you can find the things to start with, as opposed to just
Correct.
doing a big broad search.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Point them in the direction that you want them to go.
Okay. Well, if people have more questions, they can also contact us here at info@aeapdonline.org. And I think this will wrap it up for our day today. Thank you, Andrea.
Thanks, Rob.
And as always, check back to find out what is new in our series with AEAPD Online Live.